So we've touched a little bit on the corporate team and some of the amazing staff that run the ship, and some of you already probably know Chris and Bill and Nick and Matt and some of the larger exec staffs in the group, but there's a lot of other people that play a huge incremental part in the success of this company, making sure it's running smoothly, and it is not as easy said than done. So we're going to actually move it over really quickly to Nathan Williams and Chris Simonian, and they're going to explain some of the stuff that was required to get this company moving and recognize some of the amazing people that work day in and day out to get this company to be what it is now.
Hey, thanks a lot, Derek. Nate, I mean, what do you think so far? Pretty good? Great speakers? I mean, incredible value?
I'm at a loss of words. It's been a great day. I've been motivated, pumped up behind the scenes, and it's just been a great day. It's been a great day, and I think before we move on, we should definitely thank the film studio here. So
Absolutely. These guys did an incredible job. This Empire Range Productions. I mean, there's no way we could do it without you guys. So I just want to give a quick applause for you and the team. I mean, just phenomenal, professional right from the word go.
Agreed.
And Nate, we've been working on this for, gosh, well, like 2, 3, 4 months, even though we kind of squeezed it in. I know we wanted to first have a live, but unfortunately, due to COVID and so forth, we came to this virtual event. So Empire Range Productions, awesome, way to go. We truly thank you for everything that you guys are doing. And you can see with the beautiful backdrop, the stage, everything they set up. I think we'll probably find ourselves here maybe back in April, and so keep an eye out for our next event there. But Derek did mention something very important. It takes a team. It takes a team to build a business, and where you're on camera, maybe I'm on camera, and Bill and Josh, but there's a lot of people that actually I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't recognize our corporate team. So let's take a look at the corporate team first of all. And I'm going to start with probably what I believe to be the most important department in the company, which is the support team. And the reason I believe it's so important is because it's kind of that first line of communication between customer or affiliate into the company. And these guys work all around the clock. I know you've had a lot of experience with them.
I have. Just working with the Aero team that that helps with the support, learning from the field, what the issues they have, what successes they're having, what they look for to make things better. And so the support team, when it comes to customer support, tech support, even when it comes to handling any other issues outside of that, the support team has been the foundation of bridging the gap between corporate as well as the field to ensure the best experience possible.
Absolutely. In fact, even yesterday we talked a little bit more about the support team. As the company grows, Bill Wynn is really making an effort to bring on more and more people. So if you even take a look at the names here, I mean, we got Macedonia, Croatia, Philippines, Italy, Morocco. I can't even count how many languages now we're going to start to translate in. But the whole goal of the support team, obviously, is they're trying to keep up with the pace that the field is putting forth.
Great.
And so we're always going to have extra support as we grow, because we believe that's a critical department. But let's also take a look at education, and look who's at that top of that list, Nate. Director of Forex Education, Nate Williams out of Texas. Congratulations, Nate. I know that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm bringing you here, is that we're going to up our level of education. And when you came to us obviously with Aero, but then you came to us with an incredible enthusiasm. And it really was enthusiasm, not only just for Aero, for the other products which you have, but it really was for overall Forex education.
Great.
And maybe you can just elaborate a little bit on that.
Sure. So at the end of the day, for me, the mission has been to help others. Whether it is my product or other products, whether it is just getting the basics and understanding. So definitely honored that Avoya Prime would come to me and offer me the opportunity to be the director of Forex Education. And so a little bit of what we have coming forward to you guys is one thing I've noticed as an educator. Everyone learns differently. Everyone learns at a different pace. There's 3 types of ways that everyone learns, audible, by seeing, and then also by doing. And so we want to bring that to Avoya, where we have the 3 different venues or formats to allow everyone to learn at the level they need to learn to be successful. And so we plan to bring on that, at the next level, take it to a level where no other company's done before, so that you guys can do things that no other customer base has ever done before.
Yeah, it's really important. We know education, and I think it was mentioned a number of times, even with some of our leaders who have hit very high levels, that when they came into Forex, they kind of didn't know anything about it. And it was a little bit of a scary thing. And of course, we have Adeze Duncan, with her incredible energy and her training. And of course, the ever popular, Steve Vetterall, who is just there all the time. I mean, giving us all the all the market analysis, which is great, and O'Neill, and of course Dante and Brian and Al and Matt. And we got a really, really solid all-star team. I know we're going to keep growing it, so congratulations on that. We're very excited about our education and where it's going. Also, something that's really critical is, of course, the product lines, right? The EA task force, headed up by Tyler, and we've got Ishvan and Sebastian and Nico and Graham. This is really kind of where everything begins. That's kind of where you began a little bit, right here in this EA task force. You have a product, and the EA task force takes a look at it, vets it out, and so forth.
Correct. Every product goes through a vetting process. There are many products that never made it through because they have to meet a certain standard. And that standard has to be at the highest level so that the user experience is the best. Will we always be perfect? No. There's going to always be some challenges here and there. But this team right here gets better and better. And as we continue to launch more and more products, the overall launch of those products and user experience will be even better. So it definitely starts here. And it's always a lot of fun. The one thing I loved about going through the process with this team was the prototype. For those who were on the actual beta test group, and shout out to you guys, all 43 of you guys, the actual prototype was it was pretty poor, in my terms. And after going through the beta test group, seeing their success, with the prototype, they gave me feedback, which then I went back to the lab to actually develop and make the other product that much better, which has led it to the Aero that we have now. And then now the new beta test group is you, the customers, you, the affiliates. And so that's what it's all about. It's about starting here at the beginning of the EA task force, and then as we continue to grow, we get more and more feedback so we can make things better for you. And these guys are even involved in making the products better and take them to the next level.
That's very true. Actually, the product does go through a number of layers, actually, before it even gets released. And we got to make sure that the product obviously is going to do what we say it's going to do. So You're right. And so a big part of that, sometimes when a product is introduced to us, it may have some wrinkles in it. We just got to iron some of those out. And so we're really excited about the EA task force and Tyler and everybody within that group and what they're doing. Very excited. Of course, we have legal and compliance, and I know we all put a smile on our face when we see this, but we have Mariska, and it's not an easy job at all. We know that compliance is really critical, right? We're in an industry, obviously, where, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always a level of risk, right? And there's a level of what we can say and what we can't say and so forth. So, we really are thrilled to really have Mariska kind of heading up kind of at the legal and compliance part of our business.
Agreed.
And as you know, as we grow, we'll continue to expand our legal team as well. And it's going to go by country and rule by rule. So that's something that we did talk about actually in yesterday's meeting that we had with all you leaders there.
Yes.
So that was really good. Let's talk about the developers too. Another very important part of our business is because we want exceptional products. We want exceptional developers. But one thing that with this group, which is absolutely fantastic, is that it's not only that they develop the product, but then they're also training on the product as well. So it's probably an education that I think that's second to none.
Agreed. What I'll say about the developers is they did a great job of putting together a product that works for the customers, but then taking it to the next level. They could easily just say, hey, here's a product, pay me, and I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna lay on my couch. But they're all passionate and put the time in week after week on improving their product, as well as teaching the customer base to ensure that they have the best experience possible.
Absolutely, and you know that our selection process, we're very particular. They do have to fit our culture.
Correct.
And our culture is, look, I'm sure you have a good product, but if you get chosen here, you're going to have to lift people up. You're going to have to help them with your product, and
Exactly.
so that's really, really, really important to us. As we move on from the developers, we will go to the IT department. Now, I always look at the IT department kind of as one of the main arteries of the company because we are a tech company, right?
Agreed.
And without the proper IT and that support, and this was kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in some of the talks as well, is that without the proper IT, without being able to make sure that the back office works and all the departments, the compensation plan is running, the genealogies, the webs, everything. Our ID department is just through the roof. And I want to also give a quick shout out to that team, and especially Kareem. I don't think I've ever met a group that is more caring, more diligent, and if it's interesting, when I'm telegramming them, it could be 2 p.m. for me, but it could be 4 a.m. for them. They're on it all the time, and so our IT department, I believe, is second to none.
I agree. In a world of a digital age, and we're also an international company, IT is needed. There's no way that we could reach everyone face to face. So to be able to have this team, and I look forward to seeing this team grow and the things they do later on down the line.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna expand without a doubt. Now let's take a look at marketing. You know, a lot of things happen in marketing, as you know, and the marketing department's starting to build. But heading up is really Susan. You know, Susan, as you know, and you may know Susan from the past, you may not, but she was also an expert Forex trader as well. But we brought her also on as our, director of marketing operations. And she's kind of out of Canada and Mexico. That's the lifestyle which I envy. And she's in Canada right now, so we're really excited about Susan, coming on board. Of course, we have Dylan, and Dylan is part of that Empire Range production. So Dylan, thanks again for all the hard work you do. We also have an incredible editor and copywriter. So as we start to expand our business, you're going to be able to see, brand new newsletters and news formats and the messaging. And so Bonnie Goldfein is a big part of that. For those of you that are very familiar with Calvin, Calvin is a talent in his own.
Agreed.
He's helped you on a lot of videos.
He did. Actually, the testimonial video you all witnessed earlier, was done by Calvin. So he's a great expert at his craft.
In fact, a lot of the logos that you see, the banners that are behind you, everything that you kind of created is really done through Calvin. And so he's a true talent, and we definitely, cherish everything that he does for us. We also have Jason Hetherington. He's kind of on part-time, but, some of you may know him from the past, but a lot of the other graphics that you'll see, like the posters and the flyers and the announcements, those are all done by and through Jason. So we're super excited about him being on the team as well. And, of course, Pawan. Pawan, out of India. We got to thank Bill Wynn for finding Pawan. And Pawan, I would say he's probably the jack of all trades, kind of.
I've heard.
He does just about everything from development to web to graphics. And in fact, a lot of the LMS that you kind of see today really was done, by Pawan. So the marketing team is growing, and it's going to continue to grow. We're going to add some more graphic artists, some more videography. We're going to put a lot of great things together. You're going to see different looks on the website as well. In fact, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you may see a couple of websites that we'll put out, which is going to obviously help you market. And so we're super excited about that, and we'll keep bringing on more teams. All right, well, let's talk about sales. You all know Matt, right? And he's our vice president of global sales. Matt comes to us obviously with a very rich history in sales and
Great, yep.
helping companies, get to that $1 billion mark. And the reason I'm bringing up Matt here is really important because, as we start to head to the home stretch of this event, Nate, and you may know some of the surprises coming up, and you may not, but I'm sure you could tell everybody, hey, stick around for that.
You don't want to miss it. This is the home stretch. This is the last hurrah. But this is all going to be the best part. He's going to come down. He's going to bring the fire, he's going to bring the energy, and he's going to bring a lot of surprises. A lot of changes are going to be coming, and he's the man that's going to deliver it. So, hey, stay tuned.
And of course, the last group in the group is we call them administration. That's us. We're just here. We're here to help, obviously navigate the ship. We're here to make sure that if there's an iceberg in the way that we're going to divert it. And, so we had a really great team. And I already mentioned in my opening speech about Josh and Bill, and I can't be more proud to work with with this group of people. High integrity, great moral ethics. They really put their shoulder to the plow, and they just work, really nonstop. I know you've had experience now with working with Bill and Josh as well.
Had a lot of experience. I would say, working with Josh and Bill in the very beginning was probably the biggest factor for me coming on board. Again, the integrity is something that you don't see a lot of at a high level, and definitely love to have you as well on board. So when I heard you were coming on board as well, and just your background, that pushed me over the edge. It's like, okay, they're making the right moves as a company to move forward, not just for the next year or 2 years, but for 10, 20, and so forth and so on. So glad to be a part of that. Glad to see you guys. Wouldn't ask for a better team. I look forward to working with you guys.
Well, I'm glad you're part of it also, Nate. And as you can see, everyone, we really truly are a global company. From all corners of the world, it's really amazing. And what we've done in 10 months is just, I think it's unprecedented. So I'm going to turn it back over to Derek now. And again, thanks to everyone here in the film studio and the corporate team. Can't do it without you. We really appreciate and value everything that you do.
All right, thank you, Nathan and Chris. We appreciate it, guys. Really, really great that we recognize all the amazing people that play a part and make this company what it is, because there's a lot of moving pieces that require us to be constantly on the clock working. If someone's asleep, someone is not, especially because we have people that are all around the world on the corporate side. So it's really great that we get to recognize those people for all the work they've done. And speaking of recognition, I want to give a shout out to Alon Barragon over in El Paso, Texas. This guy's catering a huge event with tacos with everybody right now. So everyone that is at that event, shout shout out to you, Alon, and your team out there that are tuning in and watching this live stream. Amazing work, and it's great that you are curating the community people to watch this event.